Hi, my name is Kevin Horsman. I'm here today to tape and tell you a little story about my visit to the Nose Hill Creek Clinic here. I'm 59 years old. I had a work accident at the beginning of February on a brand new job, my third day on the job. I had retired after 41 years at my previous company and cleaned up the garage and mowed the lawn a few times. And my wife says to me, "Go find something to do." So I went looking for another job, and I found one to my skills that I had at my previous job, and it was going great. The first 3 days were awesome, and then I was trying to do some cleanup because that's kind of, I like clean workplaces. And I climbed a ladder and I fell off about the eighth step from the up at the top of the ladder. And I had a previous injury where I had a stent in my brain from an aneurysm years ago, and I had to quickly make a decision on how to fall without falling on my head. And I fell off the ladder straight flat down on my feet. When I fell, I was in instant pain, and I thought I had badly sprained my foot or my ankle because it started swelling up really badly. So I somehow made it home with the help of my father-in-law coming to get me from work. And I stayed home for almost an entire week. It was the middle of winter. We were getting one of our worst winters here in Calgary, lots of snow, and I didn't want to risk going to the doctor to check on my foot because I thought I'd do more damage trying to get to a vehicle from my house than it would be just to rest my foot at home and hopefully the sprain would go away. Well, on the following Friday, I got a phone call from WCB. My workplace had filed a claim with WCB, and they were asking where my x-rays were. I says, well, I haven't been to the hospital yet. I don't like doctors, and I thought I would let the sprain go down on itself and kind of work it out. Well, WCB told me that I don't have a choice. I must get to a hospital and get some x-rays. So I managed to get to the hospital, had some x-rays, had some C scans, and the result was I had broken and fractured my calcaneus bone on the bottom of my heel, which is not a very good bone to break because it affects every movement in your foot. And then the following Monday, I got a phone call from WCB. They got all the x-rays and they were sending me the following week for therapy. And I immediately went, oh, I hate hospitals. I don't like doctors. All right, I'll go. So I came up to Nose Hill. It's only a few blocks from home. It was very convenient. They gave me lots of different locations to go to, and I'd never been to a therapist before. So I came up here because it's nice and handy. And I walked in, and instantly I had a feeling that the place was friendly and inviting. The other people that were here for their injuries were interacting with the front end staff, and it felt very comfortable. So I thought, okay, well, this might be okay. But before I came, I went onto their website because they had sent me the name of the young lady that was going to be working with me as my therapist. So I did a little background study to see who it was and see what the other people in here have for background because, I'm apprehensive about doctors and I kind of want to know what I'm walking into. So I got here and they welcomed me, had a little bit of paperwork to do, gave me a nice little welcome package, and the welcome package was this really nice, cool pad that I could freeze at home and put on my foot. I went, oh, even if nothing works out better, this is worth it already. So Grace came out and introduced herself, and we went in and we chatted about my foot and my injury, my life a little bit, her life a little bit, made me very, very comfortable. And then we went over the schedule of what my therapist units were going to look like. As it turned out, for the first 6 weeks, WCB set up a 6-week program, 3 days a week, 3 times a week. And The times were flexible to my schedule and according to what Grace would be working, but if I couldn't make it when Grace was here, they're more than happy to have one of the other therapists in the building to take over for her, which did happen once. Uh, with no issues at all. I mean, they take over and they meld each other really, really well here. There's lots of communication that goes on. Um, so it was good. So I went through, I would say to me, an extensive rehabilitation program on my foot with a ton of exercises. And I know that going into it, whatever they're going to do, they're going to have to move my foot and bend it and twist it and probably cause me pain. To my surprise, it wasn't that bad. The procedure that we went through was I would come in and do some warm-up exercises just to get my body flexible because I had some morning times and some afternoon times. And then we'd go through some exercises and then we'd go back to, they have two different rooms with beds in it to lay down and for Grace to work on my foot and flexibilities and the best part of the entire experiment was the massage at the very end. So this is kind of what they do. You come in, you warm up, you go through some exercises to get your body part back to mobility, and then you go through the heat or ice, depending on what you like, at the very end and rest. And when I started, I was in a lot of pain. Sprain pains are a whole lot worse than break pains. So after about the first week of coming here, the sprain pain had mostly gone away, which was great because then I could actually see my foot because before it was just like a big club, right? Once the sprain pain went away, then I would kind of adjust it to the broken pain and the inflexibility pain. Because I had broken my calcaneus bone, I had a metal plate and 6 screws put into the bottom of my heel. So I've never had an operation like that before, so I didn't know if the pain I was experiencing was from the operation. Some of it was because they had to put a plate in, they had to cut my foot open to put the stuff in, and a lot of the pain that I was experiencing was actually from the stitching of the surgery itself, not from the bone fracture, if you want to call it that. And once I got used to that, that was okay. So I did a 6-week program, 3 times a week. Every day when I left here, I could feel the improvement to the point, I've been here, this is my 8th week now. I can almost walk like a human being. I hardly have a limp at all. In fact, I asked Grace at one of my appointments, Grace, when does the psychological limp go away? Because in your head, you get used to limping and you don't want to walk like a normal person for fear that you're going to cause yourself pain, right? So that eventually went away. 8 weeks later, because I'm on my second 6-week program. This second 6-week program, the bone is healed now, I am told. And this program that I'm on now, and I got 4 more weeks to go to it, is more for muscle buildup. So at my job and my everyday life, I have muscles to get through my everyday duties and stuff. Because when you're off your legs and your feet for that amount of time, your muscles do deteriorate a bit. So you do have to build them back up. So that's what this part of the therapy is about. Now, the people and even the other people that come in here to see these folks, it's like walking into family. They are extremely family. I'm not lying. I'm an old timer. I've worked with people all my life. I work in retail, so I can tell. But these are very, very wonderful, family-orientated, friendly people. The girls at the front desk, I know some of their lives, even though they're not my doctors, but we just discuss things and have a good laugh and get comfortable. It's a great, welcoming place to come to. If you are afraid of doctors, like I have been for most of my life, this is not the place to be afraid of. This is like going to your favorite cousin's house. It's very comfortable. So I've got 4 weeks to go. When I had my brain injury, after I got home about a year later, I was recovering. I told my wife, I want to go back to the hospital. I want to go see the nurses and thank the nurses. And she looked at me, she goes, no. I said, what do you mean no? She goes, you're not welcome back there. Pardon me? They don't want to see you. You were a bad patient. I was strapped to my bed for 6 weeks because I kept pulling the tubes out of my head that were draining the blood from my brain. They don't want to see you. You were barking orders at them as if you were at work and they were your employees. They don't want to see you. You're not going back. But when I leave this place, I am coming back. Thank you.